Hi there and welcome back to the second episode of us building the crunk bus for the road. And this morning we've been into Calgary and we've got ourselves some supplies to insulate the van. So we need to crack on and get all the carpet out and just make sure we've stripped the rest of it. We did a little bit more this morning after we borrowed some tools from work. But we've been into Home Depot in Calgary to go and get what we need to hopefully keep the van warm enough to keep us alive. One of the things we bought was this insulation board. Basically we're going to use this to cut it up and like stick it into holes in the side of the van. In here we have some tight foam, which is basically like expanding foam, and we're going to spray that around the edges of these blocks, one to keep the blocks in and two just to fill the extra gaps that the blocks don't get into. We also have some reflective tape to stick the boards together to each other, and then on top of all the blocks and the expanding foam we've got some Reflectix, which is basically like another layer of insulation. You can see it's got all the little air bubbles in it. It's kind of like silver bubble wrap, I guess, but just thinner. We'll use that, and we've got enough there to do the floor, the walls and the ceiling. So hopefully that's enough insulation. And then for the floor, we figure the carpet will get really dirty while we're on the road because there's going to be a lot of snow as well at the time. So we've bought ourselves some lino flooring, which I think is probably going to look pretty nice actually, but definitely excited to get that in and see what it looks like. So this is where we're at stripping the van. Stedman's getting to work without me, as she does, the little grafter. But we've managed to get all the plastic off the sides here, like I said we were going to do yesterday, and you can see all these little holes here is where we're going to put the insulation board, and then foam them in, maybe get some foam down these sides and in these holes just as a bit of extra padding, put the Reflectix over the top, and then I think, we don't really know where we're going to get wood from yet. We know we can get 3 pallets from the tip, but we don't know if the pallet wood's going to be good enough to do the job, so maybe we do need to do a little more research on what kind of wood we're going to use. Whether we need to actually buy some proper cladding or not, we don't really know yet. But on top of the Reflectix, we're going to put wood board of some sort across the top to make it look nice, and also just, again, for a little more insulation. So this is as far as we actually managed to get the carpet out, and we realised that there's more of these anchoring this into the floor, which is super annoying because we don't have a bit big enough to get into them stars. We did take some out earlier, but that's what we went to work for, so you know, another visit to work I think, but we'll probably just take the van to work tomorrow, just whip them out, and then when we come back tomorrow night we'll start insulating. So it's a bit annoying, but you have to expect that you're going to come into roadblocks doing this kind of thing. So if you're building a van for yourself and you're doing something like this, please don't like feel like you failed because stuff like this happens. It happens all the time. So we're just starting to work on the van again. Nat's chosen the pyjamas DIY look. She looks lovely. Oh, look at her sexy legs sticking right out there, baby. Whoa, what the hell's going on here?
My other pair of pyjamas got a little hole there, so I just need to be careful.
So we managed to get, I don't know if I already said, but we managed to get all the carpet and all the plastic out of the van finally, after borrowing tools off the maintenance guys at work. Big shout out to them. Definitely not watching. So there's like holes in the floor for mounting the seats, and we've just filled them with like expanding foam, and it was really satisfying, like watching it expand, and it like squirted all out, and it was like, it kind of came out like melted marshmallow, which was real cool. However, I wouldn't recommend it with schmalls, if I'm honest. So we just need to cut it back so it's flat against the floor again, and then we can begin. I think we're going to rip the roof down and then start insulating the ceiling. Go ahead, Stedman. Oh, that looks so good. How are you feeling about that?
So good.
That's probably the most satisfying thing I've ever seen in my life. Go for another layer. Oh yeah.
Oh, I think I just got a splinter in my bum.
Oh. Nice. So yeah, do a professional job. I know stuff about cutting foam, so if you know, want to know about cutting foam, foam cutter. So the plan on this next bit is to put Reflectix in the ceiling and then put the roof back up. Basically the way we're going about it is we're just measuring between these slats here, across and width, cutting a piece of the Reflectix out, and then we're going to use the Reflectix tape to tape it up to the ceiling all the way along in each one of these gaps, and then yeah, just put the roof back in, and hopefully that'll be the roof good to go. So this is what we meant, and we've managed to cut this first rectangle out, measured it perfectly. That was Stedman's good eye there, well done mate. Yeah, so we've got it up like this. We'll cut the rest out and stick them in these gaps, and then once they're all up we'll tape them in so they don't go anywhere. Pop the roof back on. That's the roof done. That easy. Making camper vans is easy. It's not. It's not fucking easy. It's not.
Also, we really don't know if this is going to work in terms of insulating us.
It's not fucking easy. It takes all of our time and money. What have you just been doing? Yeah, I bet. So we've managed to get the reflectix in. We haven't taped around the edges of it. Excuse my burp. Because, I mean, they're staying up there on the road anyway because they fit in the gaps really well. But we don't really know if you're supposed to tape it to seal it as well, but we're just going to put the roof back up now anyway and just hope for the best. If it's something that we do need to do in the future and it is a bit too cold in there and we think we're losing heat from the ceiling, then I think it's easy enough that we can just take the roof back down and put the tape back in, because it really wasn't that hard of a process. Like, it's literally, what, do you reckon it's taken us like half an hour?
Yeah, like it's been so far. I don't know what time it is, but we've not been out here for that long at all.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So that was really easy. We didn't actually use that much of the reflectix as well, which is good because we need that for the rest of the van as well. So we'll get the roof back in. Super happy with how the van's coming along. I'm really happy about how easy it was actually to take the roof out and insulate all the roof as well. Hopefully that'll do and we won't have to do any more on that. But I think the next plans probably start on the walls, I think, and probably build down like as far as we can go, and then do the floor, and then just finish like the bottom of the walls, if you know what I mean, so it like traps the flooring under the wooden wall bit. I think tomorrow, if it's clear, we'll maybe go for a hike and try and get one of these big mountains done, because it has rained a little bit and we've noticed the smoke's cleared up a touch, so hopefully we can get that done tomorrow. If not, it'll be more van work. Nat's been out here grinding hard tonight, sanding down some of the wood. We have decided to go for pallets. We managed to get some for free for work, so I guess the incentive behind it more than anything is money. I think we probably would buy something else if we had a huge load of cash, but we're trying to do this on a budget. I'm sure you understand that. But really enjoying making these videos. If you enjoy these videos as well, give them a like and leave a comment down below and let us know what you think, because if they're boring you, we can stop them, but it just means there probably won't be that many videos, because this van is literally taking up most of our free time. But trust me, it's going to be worth it. This trip is going to be absolutely mental. I'm so excited for it, and this is what we've worked for essentially, is this trip. This is where all of our money's going. We've spent just as much money getting here as we have on this van, so this van is a massive, massive part of this trip. I'm just super excited to get it going, get her on the road, and just get some miles under it. It's going to be super, super sweet. We're going to see some great stuff. Make sure you go down below and subscribe, so you've got plenty more of these van build videos coming, and of course you don't want to miss the road trip. So I'll see you next time. Peace.
You raise your thoughts, let go.